Hey, and welcome back to itsyourbow.com. And the battle rage is on with 719, bowstave 719. And you can see in this thing it has a different characteristics of wood that, yes, I can probably battle this down, and I have many times with a knife, and there's a lot there. The conditions there are, well, they've been known to cause a lot of tear out, knifing and rasping. Yes, you can do it, but I don't have a lot of time just for this one stick, and this is a great experiment. It's a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off as much of this, if the bandsaw permits, as much of this as possible with the bandsaw, and hopefully this is not a, well, disaster with this limb here. But anyhow, as this crazy stave goes, it's actually leaned out pretty good. It's just got more streamline, and as it loses mass, it may become more manipulable in some areas, because it is tall. It's very thick in this area like this, so it's kind of deceiving on how to adjust from the. There's a roll in this. If you look at the end of this thing, you can see there's a tip in the sapwood there. And I can manipulate some of that end where it stops being static, and as it is, I intend on putting some osage on the end there, like about a 3/4 inch chunk. I'll adhesive epoxy on that, and I'll do what you've seen me do before, called a toenail. I'll lock it in that way. It works very well. Attractive, and I want to make this at least 66 inches long. It came down to 65 3/4. I don't like that. I want it to be at least 66. Actually, I want it to be close to 67. That way I have the nice looking knock again. If I had more horn knocks, I would consider doing that, but I don't have those prepared yet. And I don't even know if this is worthy of that. We'll see. Anyhow, we will put this on the bandsaw, and hopefully it doesn't drive us crazy with this. Here it goes. Forgot to put my cut out, so I would escape and knock a piece off there, but there we go. That's as deep as I better go with that one. It's kind of a long trip down the limb. I put these little pop-outs help a lot with fall away, and the blade doesn't get bound up. You should do that first. Sometimes I forget. Alright, let's continue on, see what we can do with this. Oops. Better. I really want to get rid of these knots right here, like especially in this area here. They're kind of crumbly. They're really crappy knots. I don't like it. There we go. better. What I'm doing here is just simply getting rid of that bizarre looking grain pattern where it's really brittle and chippy and crumbly. So I'm just removing that from the equation to make sure I can see the status of the conditions of everything down in here as I get closer to the sapwood line. So I'm going to continue this process, and we'll get back with you guys when I'm probably getting ready to cut the belly out of this. Actually cut the belly out, and I'll just bring it down to form. Right now I'm just making this thing a manageable piece all the way around. Well, in these points, sides, belly, and so on, so it's so I can do justice with any kind of marking with it, have something to go by. We're getting really close, and we're almost there to actually doing true limb shape and taper. Maybe there's hope for it. We'll see.